You've been lied to. The problem is not the mic, not the interface, not the plugins. The problem is where you're doing your mixes. And the myths that we have been sold on how to fix acoustical problems are literally insane. Believe you me, they are myths because I, once upon a time, was hoodwinked as well. But what if I told you that for way less than the price of a brand new piece of gear, you could create a pro mix that translates everywhere? Stick around because I'm about to drop a few truth bombs. And, oh, do me a favor, put the credit card away. Let's get real. You have spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on your setup. You've got your favorite mic, favorite monitors, you got plugins out the wazoo. You've watched every YouTube tutorial following the directions to the letter. Yet when you finish the track, you're still disappointed. That mix was banging in the studio, but when you get it in the car, too much bass. When you're listening on your phone, the vocals sound thin. And when you A/B your mix against an iTunes hit, you miss. And if we're really honest, at that point you start doubting your ears, your gear, and your skills. So you reach for the credit card thinking, if I had just one more piece of gear or that one little fancy plugin, that might do the trick. Wrong. That's the great gear lie. A cycle designed to keep you buying stuff that you actually do not need. The real enemy here that's affecting each and every mix decision is your room. Without getting overly technical, you should know that every room has its own acoustical fingerprint. And in an untreated room, that fingerprint can be a total mess of echo, reflections, as well as bass buildup. So the sound that's coming from your speakers is not direct sound at all. It's reflected sound. Sound that is bouncing off of the walls, off of the ceiling, off of the floor. So therein is your problem. And you begin to think, myth 1, acoustic foam will soundproof my room. I used to think that too. You see those foam panels with the nice wedges and you think, hey, this is what real studios have. Foam is good for taming flutter echo. Acoustic foam fails at soundproofing. Soundproofing a room requires mass and the ability to decouple the room from the existing structure. So confusing foam treatment with sound isolation is mistake number 1, and it sends a lot of people down the wrong path. Myth number 2, turning down the speakers fixes the room. The problem with this is twofold. First, physics just does not work that way. The direction of the reflected sound remains the same. All you did was change the energy of the reflection by lowering the volume. And second, our hearing is less sensitive to all frequencies when things are more quiet. So mixing at a lower volume might cause you to make mix decisions that are working against you in the end. Myth 3, my small room doesn't need treatment. Stop it. Just stop it. 8-foot ceilings and square rooms are plagued with room modes in the lower and upper mid frequencies. They cause rooms to have this compressed, hollow, and boxy sound, and this totally messes up the mid-range of your mix. But here's a little secret. Spending a few $100s treating that type of room pays a larger dividend than paying thousands of dollars for a brand new set of monitors. Let that sink in real quick. Well, here's the good news. You don't need massive piles of cash in order to make a major difference in the sound. You just have to do the right things in the right order. So first, we'll attack the bass because low-end buildup is the #1 enemy of most rooms. The single most effective thing you can do is put bass traps in your corners from floor to ceiling. If you can't go that high, then minimally you should go 6 feet. Bass traps are easy to construct out of 1x12 material and plywood. We'll address that in the future. But seriously, if you can do nothing else to your room, get started in the corners with bass traps. Second, we'll attack the first reflection points. These are the spots on the walls and the ceiling where the sound bounces around from your monitors, smearing your entire stereo image. To find them, we'll use the mirror trick. You'll sit at the mix position and a friend will hold up a mirror and scan the walls. Anywhere you can see your monitors in that mirror, you're going to put an absorption panel. Third, we'll talk about diffusion. If you cover every single solitary surface with absorption, you're going to create this extremely unnatural sound. Diffusion scatters the sound around, making the room sound a little bit more pleasing and natural to the ear. And some people actually use a bookcase as a diffuser. Now that you've treated your room, imagine sitting down to mix knowing that what you're hearing is accurate. No more guessing, just confidence. You removed all the doubt and every mix decision is now intentional. This is the transformation you've been waiting for. In the comments below, tell me which myth you've fallen for. And if this video cleared up anything for you, please hit the like and the subscribe button. And until the next video, peace.